In the last lesson, we talked about what a scale is, and I also talked a little bit about what a pentatonic scale is specifically, because that is the first scale that I'm going to teach you. It's more straightforward and easier to memorize and goes with a lot of different musical styles to kind of experiment with if you want to freestyle eventually with a guitar solo. That being said, memorization is key when it comes to these patterns because it makes guitar soloing so much easier and flows so much better. We're starting with the pentatonic scale because they are the easiest to memorize. We talked about the reason why a pentatonic scale is called a pentatonic scale is that there's 5 notes in it instead of the full 7 notes that we've been talking about previously in a scale. We have in the A minor pentatonic scale the A, C, D, E, G. There are 5 notes and also 5 positions. You can play this scale all the way up and down the fretboard so we can get more of a clear view of where these actual notes are and then eventually how to connect each position together. Today we are starting with the first position. The first position starts on the note A. Since there are 5 positions in the pentatonic scale, each position will start on a different note in the scale. This first position starts on the note A. That's the name of the scale. It's the first note in the scale. So we're going to start on the A. Where you find the A that we're going to start on is in the 5th fret on the 6th string. So let's get started. This first position in the A minor pentatonic scale starts on the A note. The A note and the 6th string. So the A note on the 6th string is in the 5th fret. So we're going to go to the 5th fret. If you have these handy dots at the top of your guitar like this, they're easy to find, super easy. For me, my second dot, where you can see here my second dot, is the 5th fret. So I can easily, instead of having to count up each fret, I can just go, oh, second dot, there is my 5th fret. Now looking at this chart right here of the first position, you'll see a bunch of dots with numbers. So when we do this, this is just a diagram of what notes are in the scale, but you will be only playing right now one note at a time. So when we do this, we start on the 6th string, so that's the bottom string on the screen. And we start on the left. So we start with our first finger. We're going to start with our first finger in the 5th fret on the 6th string. And we're going to play the 6th string, just that single note. Now if you look at the diagram, you can see that the next finger you use, because we're gonna read this bottom to top, left to right. So left to right, bottom to top. We're going to play it left to right, top to bottom though, because as you know, we've talked about before, guitar tabs are written upside down. So the 6th string is at the top to you, but the 6th string is at the bottom on the screen in all tabs. Sometimes they're written sideways too. So we're going to start with that first finger, 5th fret, 6th string, then immediately going over to that 8th fret with your pinky and playing that. You can keep your fingers down just like I'm doing here, or you can lift them up. You can just play that 5th fret and then 8th fret. But make sure that if you do that, especially if you can't reach far enough, you feel like you're stretching too far, you can definitely do that. But just make sure if you do pick up that finger, that your first finger stays over here, because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go right back to the 5th fret. As you can see on the screen, your first finger is going to be in the 5th fret for each one of these. So your first finger is consistently in the 5th fret for this first position. Next, we'll go to the 5th string and play that. So we did the 6th string, 5th fret, 8th fret with our first finger, 4th finger. Next, we'll do the 5th string, 1st finger, 5th fret. And then we're going to use our 3rd finger this time in that 7th fret. Then we're going to do the exact same thing on the string below it. 1st finger, 5th fret, 3rd finger, 7th fret, and again, go down to the 3rd string, 1st finger, 5th fret, 3rd finger, 7th fret. And then as we go to the 2nd string, still 1st finger, 5th fret, then 4th finger, 8th fret, and then 1st string, 1st finger, 5th fret, 4th finger, 8th fret. Now that you kind of know where we're going, where we're coming from, you know that your first finger is playing in the same fret the whole way, and then we kind of switch between the 4th finger in the 8th fret and the 3rd finger in the 7th fret, depending on what string you are playing. So the full scale from bottom to top, from the lowest note to the highest note in the first position goes like this. It already sounds pretty cool, just going from the lowest note to the highest note, just like that. So you start on the A note, that's the A note, and as we go, we'll learn more what notes what on the fretboard. So each of the actual notes that you're playing when you play this scale are A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C. Now you don't have to memorize all of those letters, but it's kind of nice to know as you go. It's just A, C, D, E, G over and over and over again. Now we go backwards. Now read the tabs top to bottom, right to left. So we're going to start with our pinky now in the 8th fret. So we're literally just doing this backwards. We're going to start with our pinky in the 8th fret and then go to our first finger in the 5th fret. Pinky in the 8th fret, first finger, 5th fret, and so on. And do the whole entire thing backwards. So when we first try to memorize this, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go from the lowest note to the highest note, all the way up, just like that. And then we're going to start it all over again and go backwards until we got it memorized. So also, a goal with your right hand during all of this is to play with down, up picking for each note. This is a great thing to learn to practice right away when you're learning scales, because when you do get into guitar soloing, whether you're freestyling guitar solos and making them up as you go, or you are following a pattern and learning an actual guitar solo in a song that already exists, using down, up picking is going to help tremendously, especially with speed if you ever need to do something very quickly and efficiently. It also helps you not to hit the wrong strings depending on the song and depending on the pattern. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play this whole entire pattern with down, up picking with the right hand. So now that we went over that, as you go, you're just going to go down for the first note, then up. And then you go to the next string, down, up. And you're playing each string down, up, down, up, down, up. And conveniently, since you just did an up when you went to the highest note, we're gonna do the pattern backwards, starting with down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You can even do it the opposite way. Up, down, up, down. You go all the way up this scale. You can go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. As long as you're doing a down, up on each note and just alternating the picking as you go, that is such a great thing to practice, because it won't always be straightforward like that. It won't always be down, up, down, up, down, up. Sometimes it'll be a down, up, whatever, down, up, down, up, or something, depending on what you're doing. But for now, practicing alternating picking like that is going to be very beneficial for the future in your guitar soloing. The key takeaways from this is memorization of that first position. That will help you to freestyle solos when we get into that. Also, to do the down, up picking with your right hand as you do it, so that it will provide you with the experience and efficiency to be able to make some really cool moves on the guitar later.